What's up, YouTube? Just loading up the Instagram here. The Instagram. Okay. Instagram. And now I'm going to load up the TikTok. Hey. What's up today? Camera 1, camera 2. Camera 1, camera 2. Hey, what's up? Galat Sangat. Mochataba. Adkalili. Manas Mitul. Yasin. What's up, everybody? Hey. Let's talk about some code today. Dev. How much is my IQ? I don't even know. What's up, Chip? Prince joined from India. Hey. Prajwa Gupta. Can you tell me what are the necessary and useful coding languages for data science, cybersecurity, AI, and data analysis? Oh, that's way too much. Ask me simpler questions. I'm not giving a thesis or a public presentation here. We're just talking code, how to become a programmer. One of my students, by the way, she just scored a job and doubled her salary. How cool is that? First programming job. I need a web development course. Okay, well, find one. At DevSlopes, we have an academy. It's like a boot camp. We train you for 16 weeks. Waiting to attend your live. It's midnight in the country. Oh, hey. You guys make me feel bad for the days that like I miss my live streams and you're like waiting at midnight. Oh boy. Yeah, so feel free to ask questions about code. For those of you on TikTok, feel free to ask questions about code, about anything, how to get a job, how to make 6 figures as an app or web developer, fundamental JavaScript concept for learning React. Yeah, learn JavaScript, master it, and then you'll be great with React. Some coding I can start with. I've done C and C++ before and then stop. Well, I definitely recommend you start with JavaScript or Python to get back into it. What's up, Price? I just finished writing a story today, and the main character's name is Price. Well, he's Special Agent Price of the FBI. That'll be the next YouTube, next Mark Wahlbeck. Actually, World of Wahlbeck YouTube. Hey, what's up? Do you hire your own students? Yeah, all the time. Right now, I've got a student working for me on an iOS project, a student working for me on an Android project, another student working for me on the JavaScript coding challenge. All the time. But the best ones, the ones who have the most hustle, the ones who do the most, the ones who don't complain the most, like just roll with the punches, have the good attitude, upbeat. Those are the students that I hire. How to be good at JavaScript. Do JavaScript coding challenges every single day. Algorithms, data structures, things like that. That's how you'll get better. It's just practice. That's all it is. If you want to get better, go to 30daycodechallenge.com. 30daycodechallenge.com. That's our code challenge. 30 days of intensive coding in JavaScript. You'll be really great. Do you have a Django course? I don't. I'm sorry. Any tips for job interviews? Yeah, I do have a tip. When you go in for your first programming job interview, or even your first ones, your subsequent ones, hey from Morocco, assume that you're going to lose it. That's what I always do. When I go into a job interview, I tell myself, I'm not going to get this job. No matter what, I'm not going to get this job. So just relax, have fun with it. And that's what I do. I'll go in, I'll joke around with the people, I'll shake their hands, I'll throw jokes around, and more often than not, I'll get the job. But I tell myself, I'm not going to get the job. And then when I don't get it, it's like, no big deal. On to the next one. That is my best tip for you. It helps you relax. How much did you code when you were learning every day? When I first learned to code, I was up every day at 4 a.m. 4 to 6 a.m., I got up and I coded because I had a full-time job. And then when I got home after work and went home with my one child at the time, I would build projects. In the morning, I study. In the afternoon, I do projects. Do you think it's worth learn to code later in life with minimal computer experience? It could be, but you should like computers. It's very rare that somebody who never uses a computer like becomes a programmer. It's very rare. So, use computers every day. Have fun with it. Fiddle around with things. Like, you need to have a love for computers. If you're not, I'm just saying, if you don't use computers at all, it's very hard to make that transition. I actually have worked with almost 500,000 students, and to my knowledge, I do not know somebody out of all those people who knew nothing about computers, didn't use them, was like in construction or something, and then completely changed careers. I don't know anybody. Like, I've got different people like truck drivers and chefs who are programmers now, but they always loved computers. They always fiddle with it. They always say, I had a passion for, or I liked fiddling and playing with things. That's just not a use case I've actually ever seen. Somebody who didn't care about computers who became a programmer. I can say that I've totally digested the JS. Good. How many hours a day should I give to learn coding and computer languages? I always recommend you spend at least 2 hours a day in code. Half the time learning, half the time actually writing code. How much time did it take to land my first job? Okay, so when I was serious about learning to code, between when I started learning and when I got my first job was 6 months. Really want to go for human computer interaction master's program, how to aid financial aid. I don't know. If you're asking how you can make money to pay for your degree, if that's what you want to do, I always recommend learning freelance. Do freelancing. Learn some HTML, CSS. Do some freelancing. Make some cash. Best place to learn Python. Currently a cybersecurity student trying to get the test. You can learn it anywhere. YouTube, anywhere. Python is it's a scripting language. You can learn it anywhere. Just go get a $10 Udemy course. How are you? Greetings from India. I'm doing great. What do you think about Flutter? I love Flutter app development. It's fun. It's exciting. I love the notion of being able to build an experience for all the platforms. I love it way more than React Native. It's a far better development experience. Tell me how we can become coder even if you never know how to code and you don't know about computer. So get a computer. Start using it. Start playing around with it. Start fiddling with code. All you have to do is start. If you're serious, just start. Get a computer and start. Take a nice little course, $10 Udemy course, or some free YouTube course. Why is game development so underrated? It's not underrated. It's exciting, but keep in mind, it's like a niche. Like, you have to love it. Like, it's not common that you find a programmer who does game development and then gets a different job and goes and gets a different job. That's not common. Most developers who are in the game world, they live and they breathe it. They're in it all the time. That's like, they're just game nerds. That's what a lot of those people are. And the game industry is a little bit different. It tends to pay less than standard programming jobs, which I don't know why, because the programming is actually much harder. You got to do a lot of math with games, but it tends to pay less. There tends to be a bigger bro culture. A lot of the game companies are like run by men, like 90% men at the companies, programmers too. I've interviewed for some game companies, and a lot of times they can be jerks. They're not real nice sometimes. They have a lot of times the programmers there have like seniority complexes where they like ultimate brain power. I'm the best. Like, that's been my experience. I did work at a game studio. I got to work on Call of Duty Ghosts with Activision. And I hated it. It was the worst experience of my life. I did not want to be a game developer after that. I didn't like the hours. I didn't like the way they structured things. I didn't like the way they treated developers. I didn't like any of it at all. It was terrible and awful. So maybe it is underrated because it sucks. I don't know. That's what I said. If you're in the game industry, you got to really love it. Now, for me, the thought of running an independent game studio with a handful of people is amazing. And that's it. That's in my future. I'm writing some books right now. And I hope that some of my books are big because I want to make a video game out of one of my books. And I would love to get maybe a team of 10, no more than that. And we build an independent game together, really cohesive and fun, a nice work-life balance. Like, those would be a lot of fun. But AAA game development, it sucks. It's the worst. Worst job ever. I'm not the only one to say that. You can go talk to anyone in the game industry. They get used and abused. All right. 13-year-old here. Welcome. Certification is worth it. Depends on what you're getting. Certification's worth it for AWS stuff. Good evening. May I ask some experienced opinion? Yes, you may. C# versus Java for newbie. Definitely C#. Is it more worthwhile to go straight for software development rather than start with web development? It's all software at the end of the day. Are you talking about desktop versus web? Like if you're talking desktop, you're going to be looking probably at more enterprise, maybe some .NET stuff or Java stuff maybe. But web is more accessible. You're going to find more, easy to get into jobs with less experience required. What is better, Flutter or Swift Kotlin development? Better? It just depends on what you're trying to do. It's a long question. I talk about this a lot, but there's different reasons for native, for cross-platform, for jobs, freelancing, all kinds of stuff. Do you have a good chance getting a 100K job after CS degree? No, you don't. CS degree is going to teach you a bunch of stuff that you don't even need to know. You're going to waste a lot of money on it, and then you're going to spend 6 months to a year learning all the things you do need to know before you get your first job. You'd be much better off learning HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React right now, getting a job in 3 months or 4 months or 6 months, and then learning more after that, or Swift or iOS, or picking a platform. But going to computer science, getting a computer science degree, you're just going to waste money and spend a lot of time, and you're going to be in the exact same spot that someone else could be in 6 months. Best way to get started with C#? I don't know. There's some courses out there and stuff. YouTube, C# Corner is a popular website. Yeah. Who to follow in coding? I don't know. I don't follow anybody. I just watch myself and follow myself. Do tech companies ask questions regarding coding and languages in interviews? Well, of course. Of the language you're typically going to be applying for, sure. That's what the interview is mostly about. Khan Academy is a good start, or is there a better route for career change? Khan Academy is cool. It's cool. Yeah. All right. Skills for front-end development, easy. HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React. If you learn those 4 things, you can get a job paying $85,000 a year in between 6 months to a year's worth of learning. That's a very accessible and easy route to get into. How long to learn coding to get your first job? If you spend 2 to 3 hours a day learning to code and working on it, living and breathing it, you can get a job between 6 months and a year. And you can get a job even sooner doing freelance work. Okay. What's the highest paid freelance job? Freelance, the ceiling, the ceiling's the limit. There is no ceiling. The sky is the limit. That's the one. That's the one. With freelancing, the sky is the limit. There is no ceiling. When I was a freelancer, my first freelancing company, we brought in like $1.5 million our first year. Some people make $300,000 a year. Some people make $100,000 a year. It just depends who you are, what you want to do. The sky's the limit when it comes to freelancing. Good language for AI, definitely Python. Blazor versus React. Blazor's for C#, and it sucks. I just built a Blazor app for the first time the other day. Compared to React, Blazor sucks. Now, for .NET development, Blazor's awesome. It's a revolutionary. It's great. But in terms of building UI, definitely React for sure. I'm not good at problem solving. Ashish, you need to practice your problem solving, coding challenges every single day. That's how you're going to get better. It's an easy thing to train. It's not magical. It's not mysterious. It's an easy thing to train. You just got to do coding challenges. You got to write code every day. Join the 30daycodechallenge.com. That's 30 days of intensive coding with coaching, and you get your skills up there really fast. PC or Mac to start, whatever you want. PCs are cheaper. Some good entry-level positions to work towards. Well, yeah, I mean, JavaScript stuff, iOS development, Android development, those are easy jobs to get into compared to other types of jobs that are out there. Is it worth joining coding boot camps? Suit, it can be. Depends where you go. Here's the problem with coding boot camps is they train you with live teaching, and even if you can't catch up, you get left behind. Because they can't stop, right? And when the time is over, it's over. You get kicked out whether you have a job or not. And I think that's a problem. Also, because it's live classes, you often have to quit your job. You can't do it because you have to be at a schedule. So what it typically means is only really young people who are single can do these boot camps. And a majority, like 90% of all the people who take boot camps are like under 25 and single and are able to quit or got money from a friend or family member. What I find way better is our program, which is DevSlopes Academy. And it's a coaching program, different from a boot camp. 16 weeks of training, but guess what? We don't kick you out. You get to stay in it the whole time, and we work with you until you have a full-time job. In fact, one of our students just yesterday posted that she got her very first job, and she makes more now in 2 weeks than she did in an entire month. She doubled her salary. She says she's been learning for 6 months. She's been in the program for 6 months, she says, or learning for 6 months, and she just doubled her salary. Okay, she just doubled her salary. Amazing, amazing stuff. We coach you, we train you, we work with you until you have a job. You never get kicked out. That's devslopes.com/apply. It's a free 30-minute phone call. We'll tell you all about it. It's super affordable. It's about the cost of a semester of community college in the United States. We got payment plans, pricing options. You don't ever get kicked out, and we coach you and work with you until you have a paid job. I think that's a pretty dang good deal. So that's devslopes.com/apply. devslopes.com/apply. Ashish, you're asking about the 30-day code challenge. I'm saying do 30daycodechallenge.com. 30daycodechallenge.com. That's our 30-day code challenge with coaching. We coach you. We're there. We got humans helping you out. Is it worth pursuing a career in data science if you don't like math? No. Data science is math. Is it okay if I always prefer Windows Server over Linux because I often get hate from other developers I don't like? You can do whatever you want. You can be a Windows developer, a Linux developer, a Mac developer. There's room for everybody. There's room for all of you. Tips and a few important things to focus on for a front-end job interview. I have an interview tomorrow. Ooh, exciting. Well, I'm assuming you're specifically talking about front-end web development. Definitely be well-versed on JavaScript. So make sure you do some JavaScript tests online. Make sure you know your CSS, your Flexbox, your grid, all those new things, CSS modules. You should know about like more advanced things too, like lazy loading, how to make sure your pages are fast, because most new web developers, they build things really slow and websites run slow because of it. So learn about lazy loading in JavaScript, lazy loading in web development, learn about asynchronous versus synchronous in web development. Things like that. That'll help out a lot as well too. How to test your code, unit testing. Can you test it? What can you do? How to debug, things like that. Things like that. I love coding, but don't know which to start with. Which is the best to start with? Python, C++? Just start with an easy language like Python or JavaScript. Is blockchain development having a good scope and future? Blockchain's huge. There's big money in it. It's not going anywhere. Bitcoin's not going anywhere. Blockchain's not going anywhere. It's only going to grow. Is it worth becoming an iOS developer in 2021? Absolutely. There's tons of jobs. We still can't find enough developers to fill all the jobs, at least in the United States here. Freelancing, I wouldn't choose, if I was going to be a freelancer, I wouldn't choose iOS as my very first platform. I would try to choose web development because there's more freelancing opportunities, but full-time jobs, there are plenty of iOS jobs out there. Can we become a coder even if you haven't learned mathematics? Yeah. All you need is basic arithmetic, junior high math, multiplication, division, order of operations, more or less. Yeah. What's the cost of the 30-day code challenge? Just go to 30daycodechallenge.com. It has all the information on there, all the information, a whole bunch of information, 30daycodechallenge.com. Can HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and React be learned in a month? No. No. Do you have a schedule for going live on YouTube? Yeah, every day I do this at 3:30 through Friday, 3:30 p.m. Central Time, Monday through Friday. That's 1:30 p.m. Pacific Time. Monday through Friday, I do these streams talking about code, tech, life, things like that. Yep. What does cybersecurity entail? So cybersecurity, there's multiple layers of it. One is at the highest level, there's like white hat white hat hacking, penetration testing, things like that. At a lower level, there's like cybersecurity analysts who go in and do a lot of the like repetitive scripting and logging and things. And it can become highly complex. There's IT security as well too, which pays less, but it's more like corporate stuff, like securing networks and things like that. There are so many layers, but on the highest level, the programming, the white hat hacking, you got to be really good, like expert level, and you can make big money doing that. But it's a long path. Certifications, years of experience. What is better for a private new business, Flutter or React Native? If I was going to build a new app, it would be in Flutter, hands down, Flutter. I love where the platform's going. You get to write code that's not JavaScript, which is nice because JavaScript is not the best language. I would pick Flutter any day. I've learned some front-end development with JavaScript and React. Is it also worth learning Swift? Only if you want to become an iOS developer. Focus on one path. If you're not a paid developer on that one path, don't change your path until you're a paid developer. Then you can do whatever you want. Do you use Electron.js? Actually, we did. DevSlopes, we had a huge app that we actually built for our company that was all built on Electron with with React and TypeScript. It was amazing. I loved Electron. It was great. Can a front-end developer become a blockchain developer without learning back-end? I'm not sure how to answer your question. Blockchain is blockchain. What do you think you need? Do you think you need a bachelor's degree to become a programmer? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No, you don't. It's a waste of money. Waste of money. Unless you're getting it for free, it's a waste of money. You'll waste 4 years of your life, probably 5, because when you get out, you still don't have experience. You got to learn a whole bunch of new things. Just learn to code on your own, get a job in 6 months. You'll move way faster. If your goal's a job, if you want to go work for NASA, then go get your computer science degree. Best IT job, best paid. I don't know anything about IT jobs really. They do pay less than programming jobs typically. Is software QA a good field? I don't think so. I think it's boring personally. I mean, if you love doing that, that's great. Go get a job doing it. But if you want a great job, become a programmer. I mean, that's like a level above QA. QA developers don't get paid, testers don't get paid as much as programmers. I've been a junior software engineer approaching 2 years. What's the jump I need to make a break 100K? Change your company, have more confidence. You definitely could be making over 100K. You just need more confidence. You need to go find a new job. Come into a new job. And when you go apply for the jobs, mark yourself as just don't say junior. Get rid of that title. On your resume, put software engineer or whatever you are, web developer, iOS developer, Android developer, whatever. Go apply for a job. And when you come into the interview and you pass it, say you're looking for $100,000. Change companies. That's how you're going to do it real fast. I promise. You could do it today. If you've done this for 2 years, if you've actually done it for 2 years, been working for 2 years, change your jobs, come in with confidence, tell the people what you want in your new job, they'll give it to you. 100K is not hard. What language should I learn if I want to make rockets? I know kind of hard, but I'm asking if you want to work on rockets, like rocket science, SpaceX, NASA, learn C++, but let me tell you something. It's not just about the programming language. You should learn math. If I was you, I would learn all kinds of math, the highest levels of math, calculus, things like that. Learning to code is not that hard if you can know math already. So C++ plus being an expert at math, that's what's going to get you there. Is it true that programmers have a young retiring age compared to other fields? I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about that. What's your opinion on Shopify development? There's great opportunities for freelancers. I see it all the time. I know some people who do Shopify development in agencies that are making over $300,000 a year just doing Shopify development. Shopify is huge. A Palestine, RPA, I don't know what that means. Role playing something. I don't know what RPA is. Prasad, stop repeating yourself. I'm front end. For an Android developer, is there certain states in the US where you can get more than others? Well, you're going to get paid more in big cities for sure, but a lot of jobs are remote right now. But yeah, if you go to the tech hubs, any of these cities, Seattle, San Francisco, Bay Area, Los Angeles, San Diego, Austin, Texas. Where's the other ones? Boston, New York City, and a whole bunch of other cities too, but Houston too. But like those 7 major cities, there's huge opportunities there. Atlanta is growing in tech. Any big city is going to have higher paying jobs. No background in programming. I'm 25. Is it possible to self-learn and get a job now? Absolutely. You've got tons of time. I was just telling everybody, one of my students just spent the last 6 months learning to code in my program, and they now doubled their salary. They got their very first programming job. Really awesome stuff. Let's see here. Best way to start making money with code, or I'll just say the fastest way is freelancing. What do you teach in your free program? I've got 3 free programs. I'm not going to go over all the stuff in those free programs. It's free. If you want a free program, go to devslopes.com/free-course and go download it. You can see for yourself. I still remember how I got into development through a video of yours when I was at 10th grade, and now I'm a full-time developer. Oh, that's cool. That's really awesome, Abraham. Whoa. Lost my phone here. Is it worth learning CoffeeScript? I don't know anything about CoffeeScript. I'm in San Diego. I can say Miami and Houston. Yeah, those would be good spots too. Miami is the new. Yeah, Miami's been growing. I know that too. Magic Leap's also in Florida, and they've got hundreds of employees. At what time do you teach Indian students? As it's 2:30 a.m. right here now. So I do these live streams at this time every day. If you're talking about if you joined my program, we're just kind of around all the time, but our program's asynchronous. So we grade assignments and things like that, as they come in. What kind of projects stand out the most on a resume? Big projects that do complex things, or more importantly, change your resume for each job to highlight things that highlight things that you've done that are similar to what the company's doing, because that's what's going to be most interesting to a company, is a developer who already knows what they're doing. So if you're applying for a company that does like music streaming, if you've ever done audio video streaming, put that in the forefront of your resume. They want to see that you can do what they're doing. Does every coding language require heavy math? No. Do you need a bachelor's for blockchain? Absolutely not. In fact, in blockchain, you need the least amount of degrees. Everyone's scrambling for blockchain developers. Atlanta's heating up. Yes, it is. I'm a web designer. Is any help you need regarding designs? No, but that's, Sam, that's not a great pitch. That's like a very terrible pitch. If you ever wanted to pitch me on doing work for me, you'd have to give me a much better pitch than that. That pitch you give is the same pitch that everybody gives. And it's the same when people come to me, they're like, Mark, I can't get freelancing jobs. What's wrong? And I say, what are you doing? And they're like, well, I'd say this is what I can do. I ask people if they need my work and no one responds to me. Well, it's because it's a bad pitch. If you want to know how to pitch right, go to search Google for the DevSlopes podcast and type in freelancing, DevSlopes podcast freelancing. And I have a whole session about how to pitch, how to actually close a freelancing project. How do you get into the software engineering job without doing a degree? Just get the skills. You don't need a degree. Get the skills, apply for jobs. You can do freelancing projects first to build up your resume and then apply for jobs. What's the best way to learn API requests and what formula works best for beginners? Just do stuff. Stop learning. Stop learning and go build something. Come up with an app idea that needs an API request. Go find an API and connect it. Stop learning. Stop watching videos. Just build it and you'll learn it. Most people just keep watching videos and they're like, I can't figure it out. As if watching the videos was going to help you know how to do it. No, it's not going to help you know how to do it. It may teach you the core basics, but you need to actually do it. You need to write the code and then it will stick. Then it will click. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Hey, everybody. I've got to go. It's been great talking, but if you want to work with me and my team one-on-one, go to devslopes.com/apply. I will coach you personally. We'll train you, help you get a job, double your salary. devslopes.com/apply. If you're not ready to commit to something like that, 16 weeks and get a job, but you do want to upgrade your skills, you can also look at 30daycodechallenge.com, 30daycodechallenge.com. It's 30 days of intensive coding. It's going to kick you in the butt. It's going to get you started. So devslopes.com/apply or 30daycodechallenge.com. Do this every day, Monday through Friday at 3:30 p.m. Central Time. Thanks, everybody. We'll be here again tomorrow. Powering off.